Good evening. This is the Laverne Board of Zoning Appeals, meeting August 25th, 2020, regular meeting at 5:30 p.m., and will come to order since we do have a quorum. The first business is, has everyone on the board had a chance to read the minutes of our last meeting?
I'll make a motion to accept as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Minutes are accepted as presented. We have one item tonight of old business, a request for a sign variance, property located at 522 Walden Road, Highway Service Zoning District, property owned by Volunteer Cat 2 Partners. This is something that we've been talking about for quite some time now. May we have your report, Mr. Logan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This request is for sign variance to the Laverne sign code, and the applicant has been here a few times before, to try to obtain some extra signage at their facility at 522 Walden Road. And see here in the imagery, this is the old Crystal site, and I don't know if there's this on here. So there at the red dot is the old Crystal site, and as you know, it's been redeveloped. They got a site plan approval in January of this year. And since that time, the new facility has been under construction there, and along with the retail part and the gas station, they also will be selling coffee, which is the White Bison brand. And the signage, a lot of the signage request is focused around the White Bison coffee and the drive-through for that area. Originally, they had asked for 5 total signs going back to June, and then in July they came back and had dropped a sign and were requesting 4, and then tonight, a month later, they've dropped one more sign. So now they're asking for a total of 3 signs on the site, and you can see that in your packet. So by the way, this sign has been dropped. That was one of the original asks, is it's mounted to the side of the building. And so now they're only going with the standard wall-mounted sign that says White Bison. And so in your elevations that are in your packet, so here's the sign, the hexagon sign that we mounted to the building, and then the main sign over the front doors that will say Twice Daily. And then the third sign would go on the elevation that faces Walden Road. So this would be as you face north, but it's the south side of the building. And that would be the third sign. The front sign's about 51 square feet, the primary front sign. The second sign is 27.7 square feet. And then that sign on the south-facing facade is 14.2 square feet. So the total is approximately 93 square feet of signage. There has been a sign on the property now for at least 12 weeks, and staff has not received any phone calls. And that completes the report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Representative here tonight?
Yes, sir.
We're almost on a first-name basis, aren't we?
Yes, we are. My name is George Dean. I'm here representing Twice Daily. And as Bo was saying...
And would you add your address too, for the record?
I'm sorry, it's 2413 Demonbreun Street in Nashville.
Thank you, sir.
As Bo was saying, we've eliminated that directional sign for White Bison, which was the topic of the conversation the last time we were here. Just took that off. I know it's still on the photo, but it's not in the application.
Okay.
So only 3 signs, one of which I think would be permitted anyway. The Twice Daily sign, which would be over the front door, basically. The White Bison sign to the to the right of the elevation there, and then there's another sign, the white letters of White Bison over the drive-through, which is on another side of the building. When we first got together a few months ago, I was explaining that one of the reasons that we were asking for the White Bison was to try and distinguish between the two different businesses inside, the Twice Daily Convenience Store as well as the White Bison Coffee. With the elimination of the several signs that we've done now, we're hopeful that the board will look at the application and grant our request. Glad to answer any questions that anyone might have, but keep it short and simple.
Okay, thank you. Questions by the board, please?
Chairman, I appreciate the applicant working with us, and we've been through this for several months now. I think we've got it where it's ample to both sides, and so therefore I make a motion to accept as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the application now. We'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? It's unanimously approved.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much
much.
for working with us. We appreciate it.
Appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving along now, we have new business. Administrative review, clarification of use to property located at 5570 Murfreesboro Road, property owned by Webb Real Estate Partnership. May we have your report, Mr. Logan?
Thank you. This is an administrative review that has been initiated by staff as well as the applicant. I've had some conversations with the applicant, and they would like to locate a tree service at 5570 Murfreesboro Road. This is a parcel right next to Speedway. So Speedway gas station is here, and across the street used to be A+ Storage, and now it's just called US Storage. The sign actually says US Storage Centers, but at any rate, this is self-storage across the street, and then Speedway beside it. And the Exxon gas station is on this other corner. I think I have that in the photo. Well, this is zoomed further out, but again, here's the parcel, and Speedway is next door, and Exxon would be across the street at the corner of Fergus. And then here's Walmart just out of view. So a lot of different uses in this area. If we go to the zoning map, we can see this red color is all C2. So we're talking about this parcel here, and Walmart also is built in the C2 zone, as well as the Exxon gas station and the self-storage. Now, the city ordinance was amended in the last 2 years. I think it's been 18 months ago. So self-storage is no longer allowed in C2, but at that time when those were built, it was. So the other parcel, Speedway's on one side. This other neighbor is First Chance Automotive, and they do brake repairs, alignments, mufflers, those kinds of services. So this is First Chance. There is a parcel that's smaller in between 5570 and First Chance. Nothing has been submitted for that parcel, but it does exist in between the two properties. And so in reviewing C2 properties, when you go down the listing of what's allowed in C2, it's ambiguous in some areas, and this is one of those, so that necessitated the administrative review. There's a few items in there that relate to plant nurseries and tree nurseries where they can have outdoor storage, but it's pretty clear that the uses that are listed that might require outdoor storage, in most all of them, outdoor storage is prohibited unless you're a tree nursery or a farm equipment dealer, like a TSC or a co-op type facility. You're not going to be allowed to have outdoor storage. So I think the applicant best serve the city and the applicant if they would have a conversation about exactly what they want to do and what does tree service exactly mean. What's the site going to look like? What kind of concerns the board may have, and you all can express those. There is something under C2. There's a construction, it's like a construction office is listed, But again, no outdoor storage of any kind. So hopefully with the new update to zoning ordinance, one of the goals is to clear all of that and make it, separate those into different districts so that it's not so ambiguous. But at this point, that's what staff has been able to surmise what the situation is. So I talked on the telephone today with the applicant and reminded them of the meeting, so I think there's a representative here to talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you. The representative here?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Will you raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
Yes.
truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Will you state your name and
My
address for
name
the
is
record?
Jose, last name Barrera. I am the owner of JB Tree Service. It's gonna be an office with a shop, just to kind of protect the equipment from the sun, the weather, and the office to take care. Everything is done online, no walk-ins. It's more like online work, and just for the trucks to be inside the shop, and no retailing, nothing like that.
Okay. Will all the vehicles and the equipment of cutting and all that, stump cutting and all that?
Yes, they're gonna be inside the shop.
They'll be always inside the shop?
Yes.
Okay. Do board members have any questions?
I do. I appreciate the sketches you've done. Concern for me is the overlay district, number one. Number two, the concern of the vehicles being left outside. I understand the applicant said it's inside. And also the access way into the property, where would that be located on the property? That's a major thoroughfare, and the traffic could be quite heavy at certain times of the day. So I'm concerned with that as well. Had you thought about where the access would be?
We're thinking about putting two entrance, an entrance and an exit,
Okay.
to make sure we're not doing any traffic. As well, we're probably gonna be going always north, like going to the right, because you can't do a U-turn, nothing like that, so we're gonna have to go an entrance on the left side and an exit on the right side to kind of flow that traffic.
But would the entranceway be
Facing,
opposite a existing one? 'Cause I don't think there is one between.
there's no existing at
there
the
isn't,
moment.
no. So the concern there is obviously access, that there is no through lane, meaning that they would have to be coming from Laverne towards Smyrna to turn in and turn out.
Yes, that is correct.
But my concern from the C2, I had the book here of all that, the concern is that it always says no outside storage, no outside storage, no vehicles outside. You can definitely tell us that there will be no outside storage of vehicles or
No,
supplies or anything.
No, the only vehicles is gonna be from the employees. They're probably gonna be in the back, small parking spot, and the rest will be inside the shop, because they're high-quality equipment that could get damaged with the weather. And, we're trying to just keep them as new as we can.
Okay. Any other questions?
I'm just, my concern looking at the users permitted is that the tree service business, I don't see anything that really meets the requirement. I'm just trying to see if there is. I don't, those is plant and forest nurseries.
Well, it says here that the district is designed to provide a wide range of retail, office, amusement, and services used with adequate space and appropriate locations, which serves the needs of the motoring public. So I don't know if tree service serves the needs of the motoring public or not.
And most of the time during the day, they're not in and out. It's just in the mornings and late afternoons, that the vehicles will be in and out. That is approximately about 10 vehicles. Just, it's just like a parking spot with an office, just to kind of take care of online calls and phone calls. It's not gonna be something that, you know, customers will be in and out, causing any danger or vehicle traffic in the zone.
Well, I'd like to have some discussion by the board here if we're prepared to make a decision on this now. All we're doing is saying that is the codes officer correct in his interpretation or not? Or should we come back to this when the site plan is presented to the planning commission, or how we would want to look at this?
I'd like more discussion.
Pardon me?
Said I would like more discussion.
What you say?
I'm not sure.
Said she'd like some more discussion.
More discussion on it?
It's just with what you presented of hand drawings,
Yes, I understand.
we are trying to make, it's a
Yes.
big decision.
The reason of that drawing is because it, before purchasing the property, I wanna make sure I could do that. You know,
Understand.
and, the owner that is, First Chance, you know, I know him for years. So he's actually given me the opportunity to purchase it from him directly, but I wanna make sure I could do what I wanna do before I purchase it.
It's the chicken egg situation, unfortunately. It's trying to figure
But
out.
I am gonna get an architect to take care of a nice design the way we want it. We want something professional done, not, you know, want it to look pretty. I mean, being on the main road, it has to look good.
One of the other concerns for me is that only having, there's no through access way for the both left, you know, both ways on Mersborough Road would be an issue for some of the bigger vehicles. If they're trying to do a U-turn at Speedway, that's gonna become a real problem, I believe. You know, I'm real concerned about the positioning of the building and does it really fit with our C2 requirements?
Okay. What would it take to have a cut-through on Murfreesboro Road? Would that take state approval?
It is a state road with state approval, yes.
Well, I'll be willing to entertain a motion here.
Yeah, let me just, I guess maybe a question for Bo, just so I'm clear, what's the Board of Zoning Appeals being asked to decide? What question are they being asked to answer?
Whether this fits in a C2 district.
Okay, and is this an appeal from a decision that was made?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the underlying decision that he's appealing?
I did not feel that it was appropriate for C2.
Okay, so you said it's not C2, and he's appealing your determination on
Correct.
that? Okay, all right.
Correct.
I just wanted to make that clear, because
Right.
this is the appeal, and so really, you're like a court, and the decision you've got to make is whether or not the planning director's interpretation is consistent with the way that you guys view it, or whether you disagree with him. And I just wanted to frame the issue so
Sure.
everyone's on the right page.
Sure, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Well, that, Mr. Chairman, I just know what's going on. I don't feel it fits the requirement. I'm gonna agree and uphold with what the staff said and say it does not fit the C2 requirements.
Okay,
I'll make that as a motion.
you make a motion that, do we have a second for that motion?
What was the motion?
The motion is that it determines that it would be against the applicant to uphold the decision by the codes office.
That's right. It would be to either uphold or affirm the decision of the planning director regarding interpretation.
Right.
Second.
Seconded? It's been moved and seconded. We'll take a vote on it, and it'll be by name. We'll take Mr. Goodman
No.
and Alderman.
I'm gonna say aye to the motion to uphold what the staff is saying.
Okay. Elizabeth?
Aye.
Aye? And I will say aye also. It's not appropriate for the C2. I'm sorry,
No worries, not a problem.
we're going to uphold the decision of the codes officer,
Okay,
okay?
all right, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.